Hey guys, so I did my research paper on osteosarcoma, which is cancer that is formed in the bone cells. And it's most often found in children and young adults. And the most common place that it is found is the lower femur, kind of knee joint area. I will get into that later because it comes in later. Basically, the signs and symptoms are swelling in one area, joint pain, and I think the most common one is just random bone breaks for no reason. So there's no traumatic injury done. You know, you weren't in a car wreck, you weren't in a sports injury, you just got out of the car, you got out of bed, and your femur just broke. So, that's a big sign and symptom. Treatment, along with chemotherapy and radiation, the biggest one that is done is surgery. And this is due to the fact the malignancy is really high. You know, the cancer it spreads really easily, and that's why this cancer is very deadly, because it does spread quick. But due to surgery, you're able to just take out the spread, the chance of spreading. You just remove it. So I want to talk about the three different types of surgeries. One is limb sparing, which is, when you catch it really early on. Early detection is key with all cancers, especially when it comes to surgery. So limb sparing is when they don't have to remove anything big, they just remove that chunk of cancer out of the bone. So you still have your arm, you're still good, you're good to go, but you're missing a big chunk of bone, which, if you Google limb sparing scars, they're really cool. It's just kind of like a big chunk is gone, but they're still good, still functioning, still rocking. I think it's really neat. The next is amputation, which we all know what that is. So that just means the cancer is spread to more of the bone. So because they don't want it to spread to, more vital organs, vital systems, they just cut the bone out. Obviously we know what that looks like. We know what to expect with that. The one I really want to focus on, and the one I think is mind-blowing, is rotationplasty. So this one is really cool because it's done with children or adolescents who are still developing. Your bones are still growing. But like what I mentioned earlier, the most common site is the lower femur knee area, and that's where this really is key, because in a rotationplasty, what the surgeon does is they cut out right above the knee and right above the ankle. Just take that part of your leg, they chunk it, but they save the nerves, they save the veins, they save the all-important arteries and stuff. They save it, just your leg's gone. And then what they do is, when they're cutting above the knee, they are so smart. They know that, okay, this bone is still developing, so it's still growing. So we're gonna cut it exactly in a place where when it grows, this part of the femur is gonna line up with their unaffected femur. So they're gonna grow in together. Does that make sense? Really, there's a lot of good YouTube videos on it, but I'm not done. It gets crazier. So they cut that off, and then they have this ankle and foot still hanging on. So what they do is they give the foot a full 180 and attach it. They just attach it right back. So now instead of a knee, you have your ankle. What? And so now your knee joint is your new ankle joint, or your ankle is now your new knee? Crazy. It's crazy. But not only that, your foot's facing backwards. So it kind of mimics the same joint as a knee. It is crazy. I really recommend looking up rotationplasties on YouTube. They have really cool visuals, and they have patients with their foot all the way up to their knee. It is insane. I think it's really cool. So they just put the foot on there. Now they have to wait, because they have to wait till after puberty, after they've grown. And now, because they're so smart, they knew where to cut. The knee and the foot they're aligned. There's no awkwardness of the length. They're aligned because they have grown into their ankle. Crazy. So basically now it's a really ideal placement for a place. Excuse that, I just went blank. I couldn't think of the word prosthetic leg. So they have that new joint, and now they have that backwards foot. They have that new knee joint, so now they need to be fitted for a prosthetic leg, and which this is the most ideal type, because it's not like they're missing a knee. They have it. It's just their foot. So now they have a really cool prosthetic where their foot's backwards like this, and the leg kind of fits like a shoe. It is insane. So they have this new prosthetic leg over their ankle knee, and they're walking like normal, and they return very normally. So when it comes to PT intervention, we are really here post-surgical wise. I mean, we can be there for like chemotherapy and strengthening when it comes to that, but chemotherapy usually doesn't last that long because, you know, it's growing, it's malignant, we need to just take it out. So we're mostly post-surgery. What we're really focused on is working with their new prosthetic leg, their new prosthesis, you know, because it's new. Also with that, we're learning on rebuilding strength, all that muscle mass that they lost. We're here to rebuild it with their ADLs and with their new gait. You know, imagine your foot is now your knee. You're gonna walk a little weird, so we're gonna help them out with that. I think that's really cool. Yeah, but something that's really important is the precautions of a new amputation. So like I've said repeatedly, this is usually done to young adults. So say you're this teenager who now has their new leg. They have a leg now, so they're wanting to go run into the world, they're wanting to use it. But that's kind of a big deal with amputations, prosthetic legs. It's very, very common for kids, especially young adults, to completely mess up their scar tissue, completely mess up, you know, that new forming tissue over there. So they want to get back into action, they want to go run, they want to do something, they want to walk. But it's our job to educate them on, you need to go slow because you're going to mess up that amputation site. So, you know, that's for our job. Thank you for sitting through this. It was very rough. If you have any questions, please ask, text me, or whatever. I miss all of you. I hope to see you soon. I'm sorry this was so rough. Bye.